here we are. It's Seed Starting Sunday. I've had so many requests. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied because I'm so excited to share this with you about when am I going to do seed starting. So I'm going to start you from the very beginning. Probably so many of you are watching football, but this is going to be recorded and posted, so we can just start from the very beginning and we can start planting seeds. So the three types of seeds that we are going to plant are zucchini, because zucchini and yellow squash have great large seeds and they're very easy to work with. But on top of that, they sprout, you will not even believe it, they sprout in like 2, 3 to 5 days. It's amazing. So you feel an enormous feeling of accomplishment, and they're great. Hey Nancy, how are you? So nice to see you. Thanks for being here. And then the other one we're going to plant is arugula. Now, my experience with arugula is this. Hello, Lene, so good to see you. Glad you're here. Arugula is, and most lettuce seeds you will see look like almost little hairs. Hey, Cynthia Berman, so glad you're here. And they're hard to work with, but the fact is that when I tasted my first arugula leaf, I was sold. I was, my gosh, I've got to plant my own victory garden. There's no way that I could not do that. And the arugula, the taste of arugula grown from my own soil as opposed to something I bought at the grocery store is what sold me, because I promise you, if you plant arugula, the taste of fresh arugula from right out of your own soil is something that you do not get once you buy it. I think over time, maybe once it's picked, it loses its extreme flavor, its peppery flavor. So this is what did it to me. So let's start from the beginning. I know, Cynthia, you're here. I'm so glad that you are here. Okay, Cynthia, I stepped out of the camera here, but I'm just going to tell you, Cynthia, you will find her, Cynthia Berman. She's the accidental farmer, and I spent a great deal of time this summer working with her in the garden and learning about her garden, and believe it or not, I even taught her a few things, which is kind of fun. We talked about, and I'll share this with you, we had a good laugh because there are tomatoes that are called, hey Tawny, so glad that you're here, Seed Starting Sunday. So tomatoes are determinate or indeterminate. So, hey mom, how are you? My mom's here too. So indeterminate or determinate, let's start there. Determinate tomatoes mean that they are determined for only one season. They grow for a season, that's it, the plant is gone. Out of the soil it goes and into the garbage once it's harvested. But indeterminate means that they can stay in the ground and they bloom throughout the year, season to season to season to season. And indeterminate tomatoes are actually my very, very favorite. But we're working today with zucchini. So let's talk about the zucchini. I'm going to open this up and I want to show you these seeds. So they look just like pumpkin seeds. They're nice and large. I never buy my seeds online. Unless I'm buying them from an actual distributor, but I would not buy them on Amazon for sure, because I did that once and the seeds never bloomed. I think they were just sitting around too long. So look at the size of these seeds. Can you see that? Let me zoom in. Hold this up right here. Can you see that? So that is a squash seed. So whether it's pumpkin, yellow squash, zucchini squash, probably the other squashes as well. The seeds are large and they're very easy to work with. And so that's why I wanted to start with that. Hey, Ryan McNamara, so glad you're here. So let's do that. Let me put this seed down. Inside the greenhouse, the Jiffy greenhouse, is this black bottom. And then it also comes with these little pods. They're empty pods. Now I soak mine in water first because when you put the soil in, they're very, very dry. So if we can look at this, now also too, something that I noticed that when I bought my Jiffy greenhouse this time, these pods came with it. And what I don't like about these pods is there's no holes in the bottom. And I don't understand that because I've always had them with the holes. If you can see in that, there's holes. So I do believe you need the drainage. So if you did get the greenhouse and there's no holes in the bottom, you can see like they almost just, I would just stick my finger right through that and just poke a little hole in that, just like that, because you want the water to be able to drain out as you water the seeds throughout the time that they're going to be in these pods, because at some point, of course, we're going to transplant them. But so just watch me here. I'm just bursting that little hole. Very easy. I feel like they were stamped and maybe it just didn't go all the way through and I got a bad batch, but no worries. Very easy to switch around. So, okay, so you saw me do that. Okay, so we're gonna put this in. Now, this is actually all that I'm going to do. I'm just gonna do these two. And this is the reason I am not doing the entire greenhouse, as you can see. And I might change my mind with that. The reason I am only doing this is because my own garden is so large that last year I planted like 2 rows of zucchini, 2 rows of yellow squash, 5 rows of tomatoes, and honestly, it is so much. It really, truly is way too much. When you put it in the ground, it looks so small, and you think to yourself, what could a little seed like that do? But the fact is that when you've got, let's see, 5, when you have 10 of those, they grow to be like plants the size of your own body, and they take over your garden. You have to control the aphids. You have to do a lot. So I've got lots of tomatoes, eggplant, lots of herbs, and my garden really can only handle, I would say, no more than 5 zucchini plants, because those zucchini plants are going to grow ginormously. Yep, sometimes new one plant is enough. Yep, sometimes just one plant is enough. But for me, I really want to do well with the zucchini. So we're going to start with organic planting mix right here, the Jiffy. So I'm big on Jiffy because they do the greenhouse, they do the organic soil, I feel very confident with them. So I'm going to take a measuring cup, and into the soil we go. And I am just, let me get this down here for you. And I'm just going to sprinkle this right into these pods and fill them up just like this. So you have to watch me do this. And let me just tell you, just let me stop for just a minute. Let me just tell you, watch this. As I do this, I'm going to reach over here. I'm going to grab this. And you put your nose in this, and let me tell you, you just want to eat it. It smells so fresh. It smells like you're walking through a forest. The organic soils are just beautiful. Hey, Arlene Wiesner, so glad you're here. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And think about, you are putting your seeds into this rich, beautiful soil, and it is going to come out and it is going to give you something that you can eat, something that nourishes you and nourishes your family. It's the most amazing thing ever. Nature is just incredible. So let me get this over here. So we're going to just continue to fill up these pods with soil, just like this. Let me get you down here so you can see what I'm doing. I should have gotten my husband down here and let him be cameraman for me today, just because I don't want you to miss a single thing that I'm doing. Okay, and then into these. Now again, if you have holes already put in your Jiffy cubes, great, but if you don't, just push them in, because you really want these to be able to drain. So now, as we put this in, we're going to shake it, try to make it a little bit level. Get that level. Can you see that? I got a good shot for you guys. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Tawny Moore is there, and that's Tawny with a W instead of just Tawny with an A-N-I. So we've got 2 Tawnies here today. Okay. Here we go. Now, we filled this up, but make no mistake, this soil is going to settle. And this is how we get it to settle down, because you don't want to just plant right into this dry soil. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a trick. Get it all in there, get it leveled off. Let's give it a shake, right? Get it Get it to settle. Okay, and then I'm looking to see, oh, Tom Letitia is watching. What is he asking me? He says, you are doing great camera work. Okay, thank you. So here we go. We're going to spray it. So get yourself a reliable spray bottle. And by reliable, I mean that you have no idea how many spray bottles I have been through over the last year since I started seed starting, because honestly, the nozzle breaks. They don't really spray the way that you think they do. They're really, it's like I never knew how many problems you could have with a spray bottle. But do you see that? You're not overwatering it. You're just spraying the pods. Now this spray bottle, honestly, this is a pain. This spray bottle just, it's hard to work with. So you really want to test some spray bottles that you have. As you water these seeds, you're going to spray them down twice daily. You're not going to water them. You're going to spray them. And you're going to spray them until moisture accumulates on the very top. My hand is so tired from using that blue spray bottle. It's just not the best. But this is great. I got this on Amazon. It's a glass bottle. The nozzle is fantastic. And this is what I prefer to use. You got to be careful because it is glass. Okay, so that's how I have watered the soil. Now I did soak these pods in water prior to you joining me today. So, okay, next step. We're going to take a toothpick or a skewer, right? You can find these anywhere. I want to see it. Can you see that okay? Okay, and you are going to make a hole right into one of those pods, and you're going to take that seed that I just showed you and just press it down with that toothpick and then cover it up with the soil like that and spray it one more time. Give it a good spray, nice good wet spray. See that? Okay, now next, again, right next to it. Now the really great thing is that, okay, in we go and cover it up. You want to put it about 1/3 of the way down the pod, giving it a chance to get sprouted in there. Spray it down again, each one really good. I go back and spray the one next to it because you really want this soil to be moist. Now, one of the tricks that you need to know is these little skewers, if you will, not skewers, but markers, come with the Jiffy set. And, you know, I always thought, well, what's the big deal with that? But you really want to mark it because you will forget. So if you can see over here, I'm going to mark this zucchini. Z-U-C-C-H, that's it. And I'm just going to stick it right in this row right over here at the very top, if you can see that. And that way I will know that this row is a zucchini row, okay? So now we go into the third one. There we go. And another zucchini seed. So does anybody have any questions? Hey, Heather, how are you? There's a lot of Heathers. Yesterday we had 2 Heathers here, okay. There we go. Let's see, who's got questions? Valerie Simon is watching and Tony Carrison is watching. Oh my gosh, I love all these people coming. Now let me tell you, I never planted a single seed in my entire life until less than a year ago. I got this for my birthday from a friend of mine, okay? And my birthday is January 17th, so next Sunday is my birthday. And she gave me, I will show you, this Grow Light. And I was like, gee, thanks. What am I gonna do with that? And I tried to be really polite about it. She said that I was. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, oh God, please, what am I gonna do with the Grow Light? She said, oh, it's so easy. You can, plant your own vegetables. And I'm thinking, oh, please, I love cooking, but I don't wanna plant, like, please. And I tried to be so polite about it. Well, at the end of the day, she planted them for me and gave them to me. Oh, she's watching right now. There's Brenda. Brenda Prince Valley gave me my first Grow Light. And she had already pre-planted them for me. And they started to sprout. She told me what to do and how to do it. And I'm not kidding you, from the minute that arugula came up and she said, oh, have you tasted the arugula? And I'm like, I'm not sure that I want to. She said, oh, taste it. I tasted that arugula and I was like, okay, you got me, and away we go. So she truly inspired me in a way in which was so incredible and so just so real for me. I'm gonna put a little more soil into this, and I'm so grateful for her. And after that, I built my own victory garden. I built everything. So here we go. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit more soil right on the top. So now this whole row is zucchini. And if we do a course on seed starting and planting and transplanting, Brenda is gonna be a big part of helping us with that course. Very big. She's got a lot to offer. She's my mentor in all of this, and I'm so grateful to her for many, many reasons, but certainly for getting me a grow light that I didn't know that I wanted or needed. And here we go. So here we go. So I'm spraying that just again, just, you know, making sure that it gets moist. Again, as long as you got holes in the bottom of this, extra water will drain right through. So now I'm gonna do this with my hands. I'm gonna check for any questions. Sue Gitterman, Epstein, Rainish, Sue Rainish. She said, by the way, my name is Sue Rainish, but she's got all these other names, so it's hard for me to always remember that. Okay, so moving on, we're gonna now do the yellow squash zucchini. So let me take my, my marker, right? And I'm gonna print on here yellow, Y-E-L-L-O-W. I'm gonna put it over here so that you guys can see it, right? I'm gonna put it right there, and the zucchini right here, just so you guys can see it. You want these to be very short. Hey, Heather Glussman, so we got two Heathers here now. You want it to be short because when you put the top on it, when you put the top on the greenhouse, you don't wanna bump into this, so I often have to cut them, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, now, let's go with the yellow squash, same thing. These seeds, you want to keep them separate from the zucchini because you can't tell the difference. You cannot tell the difference. Do you see that? See all that? Whoop, let me tip that. So here we go. We're going to put a few out. I'm going to put them in this little dish so I can get them easily. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exactly, almost exactly enough. Hey, Denise, how are you? Thank you for joining us. So many people here today. I'm so happy. Okay, so if you can see me again, here we go. One more time. We're going to put the skewer in there, drop the seed in, cover it up with the soil. The soil's a little bit dry. Let me squirt it, then go back and squirt these that we've just been playing in just to make sure they get enough water as we begin. Okay, down here. So the yellow squash is definitely redundant for what I just taught you for the zucchini, but when we move on to the arugula, I want to show you the difference in the seeds. I mean, those seeds are so tiny, they look like little tiny eyelashes. Little tiny eyelashes. I was like, oh my God, these are so hard to work with. But what you get as a result is so amazing. So they're definitely worth it. Okay, so sticking that seed, again, the seed goes about 1/3 of the way down, cover it up. Now the thing about the arugula seeds also is that sometimes they fall when you're planting them in, and suddenly you realize that arugula seed ended up in the zucchini and you didn't see that and you didn't know it. 6, all right. So one more. Right here, just put that right in. Let's spray it. Let's spray everything else right around it. And let's go for that last one. There we go. So now you are going to water these twice a day, and you're going to water them with your spray bottle because that way you can control how much moisture gets in. When I first started doing this, I was just watering them by pouring water and I didn't have any control. Most of it was going to the bottom. It was too much water too fast. But spraying them like this and seeing how the moisture, see how that moisture, I don't know if you can see this, but can you see how the moisture, because it's dark, I suppose I needed a light. Here, let me get a light right here. I'm going to show you this grow light. Here we go. We'll use this as a light. Let me reconfigure this just a little bit so that you can see. Let me move this. So, and let me bring this light over to here. Can you see that better? That looks better? Give me a thumbs up if you can see that much better. Okay, that looks better, right? So here we go. Spray it. Can you see all that moisture? There we go. Okay. All right. Now let's look at the arugula seeds. I'll get rid of this one yellow squash. Maybe I can plant 2 yellow squashes in the same place. What did I do with my skewer? Oh, where is that skewer? Well, I lost the skewer, and that's not good. Oh, there it is, right under here. Okay, here we go. Let's see, this has got a lot of soil in this one, so we'll just drop that right down there. So we'll check back at this next Sunday. Believe it or not, most of these seeds will be sprouted by next Sunday. So a couple things that I want to mention. Inside your Jiffy comes this Super Thrive, which is a vitamin and minerals for your seeds. It is not non-GMO and it is not organic, so it's up to you if you want to use it. You pour this entire thing, it's liquid, into a gallon of water, and then from there you can put it into a spray bottle and use it to water your plants and to your seeds. But it says this, and I do want to read it to you. It says, "We are so happy that you made the decision to grow your plants directly from seed. There's no better way to connect with nature," and I agree with that, than to take complete control over your garden. Our passion is to help you become more successful, and to that end, we've included this liquid packet of Super Thrive to help your seedlings get off to a great and healthy start. We have also included some plant stakes, which is what I've been showing you, that will help make your job a bit easier, which is true, because suddenly your plants start coming up and you're like, oh my God, I don't remember which one that is. So there you go. Okay, so off to the arugula seeds. So let me show this to you. We're gonna open these up, and I'm gonna show you that they look like little eyelashes. I hope I'm correct. And we're gonna just pour a few right into this little, oh, these don't even look like eyelashes. That is a different lettuce, okay? So these, you can barely seed them. Seed them. Do you see those little dots right there? I mean, they look like, I don't even know what they look like. They just, do you see that? They're so tiny. They're so very tiny. So the very best thing that you can do with that is put a little bit of water on this. There you go. You're going to open up this just a little bit. If you can see, let me get a little bit closer to the light so you can see. And then you are going to put one of those seeds right on the tip. And it sticks because you wet it, and into the pot it goes. And I wouldn't take chances, because sometimes it can fall off the tip in transport. So I always put 2 in every pod. So that just means that you might have to transplant it out faster or sooner. Let me get this other seed on here. They are so hard to work with. I know there's probably a better way, and probably Brenda knows the better way, and she should probably type that in here if you're still watching, Brenda. But there we go. Into the pot it goes. And I don't even know if it got in there. Honestly, it's just so, they're so hard. So let's open this one up. Let's try to grab another one. Can you see that? So is it there? I have no idea if it's still there. So sometimes you just have to, I lose my patience, which is terrible. You should never lose your patience when you're working with nature, but I gotta tell you, I'm only human. And I get so frustrated sometimes, but the end result is so fun. So here we go. And you know what? If it happens to you, just consider yourself like me, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It just is what it is. It's how it works out. Okay, I need a few more seeds because I think I Must have put more in than I needed. Brenda is saying, or a little dampness on a fingertip. Okay, let's try that. Let's try putting them in my hand right here. Okay, I have quite a few in my hand. Now, because you can see that, hey, Jennifer Tuttle, can you see my hand? I can't see if you can. Okay, so they're right here. So at the end of the day, what's going to happen is sometimes when you're trying to transfer a seed like this into here, sometimes it drops off. So I have had it happen where arugula pops up, or any other lettuce will pop up where I planted the zucchini, and I'm like, okay, that's a different leaf altogether. But it's funny, you just kind of give yourself a laugh, and away it goes. So, okay. These seeds are falling in. So you see why I wanted to start you with zucchini and yellow squash, because those seeds are so much easier to work with. But the end result of the arugula is something that you absolutely will love. I also, what's wrong? I have something on my nose. What do I have? Soil on my nose?
Soil.
Soil on my nose, okay. Thank you, sweetheart. My husband just came down to tell me to wipe my nose. I love that. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so now we're gonna move the arugula over to the other side. So the other thing is that the zucchini and the yellow squash will probably sprout in about 3 to 5 days. You will see seedlings, sometimes in 2 days I've had it happen. The arugula takes a little bit longer. So let's start again. Into my hand. There's 3 seeds. And I think trying to just get 1 seed is enough to get anybody exasperated. So I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna go ahead and throw all 3 seeds in there, close it up with my finger, spray it, go back and spray all these, making sure they're getting nice and moist. Okay, there we go. One more time. So let me see if there's any questions, and let me see how my nose is doing. Is my nose clean? There, okay, all clean. Thank you, husband. Okay, soil, yes. You got one of them on your nose or it's dirt. Thanks, Mom. Only my family would feel close enough to say you got something going on. Okay, Matt Shanker's watching. Hey, Matt, how are you? Okay, thank you for being here. Welcome to everybody. Okay, Brenda says, lettuce seeds shouldn't be too deep in the soil, so you can set it on top and then put just a little soil on top. Okay, yep. All right, thanks, Brenda. She's the mentor. She knows what she's doing. Okay. She's from Iowa too, and she knew what a seed was. She already knew about these companies called Burpee. I mean, when I think of the word Burpee, I think of a baby. So, you know, she knows what she's doing. So, okay. She knows all kinds of seed companies, and all right, I lost track of where I am. So that's good to know and good to remember that lettuce seeds, God only knows, thank God they only need to be right at the top, because they are so hard to work with because they're so small. And some of the other lettuces, like I said, are the size of eyelashes, which make it very hard. So there we go. I put them all in. All right, there we go. So they are all in. So now we're gonna go to the next step. Let me write arugula on these. Let me see where this is. Okay, let me grab the Burpee steak, because I can't find where I put the other ones. So when I say to you that I need to cut these, and I'm gonna do that with this one, so hold on just a minute. Because we are going to put the greenhouse top on it for a purpose for which I will explain in a minute, you can see that it hits the top of these. So we are actually going to cut these down. We're gonna kind of do this. There we go, and just cut that right down. Same with this. There we go. Whoop. And that way we can use the other half of it right there. Okay. And we're going to take this one from Burpee, and we are going to cut it same, like this. And we are going to write on it arugula. So since I moved everything around, let me find where I did that. We'll do a little A-R-U-G on this, arug. So you can see that we're putting that right here, and I will remember. So now the greenhouse top will set right on top of it. Now, if you remember, I've been promoting all week long that what you could do is go onto the nannybubby.com website under Game Changers. Open that up. The very first thing you're going to see is Growtek, the Grow Light that you can get on Amazon, and the Jiffy Greenhouse and the Jiffy Soil are from Home Depot. The seeds, I really recommend that you go to Home Depot yourself and just pick out what seeds you want, because I would not buy seeds online unless you're buying from somebody like Burpee who is in the business of selling seeds. So greenhouse top goes on like this. Oop, there we go. When you first start working with it, it's a little bit tight, as it should be. Okay, so this is what I do. So let's talk about the light first. This is the Growtek Light. See that? Let me just turn it off so you can see it just a little bit better. Okay, there's the Growtek Light. Now, the really great thing about this light is that it is adjustable. So when you're working with seeds, the seeds begin to grow. You want them nice and tight to the greenhouse. And as they start to grow, then they get very tall. You take the tops off and you can move it up. And so the Grow Light grows with you. In the Grow Light is this seed set, and I will transplant sometimes these seeds into these bigger pots, get them used to the Grow Light. This is, you know, not adjustable, but transportable. So I'll take these outside and let them sit in the sun as it starts to warm them up so that the plants can get used to fresh air and sunlight. But that's like a week or two down the road. Not even a week or two, it's about a month down the road. So this Growtek Grow Light is on for 10 hours. So if I put this on right now, like you just saw, it is going to stay on for 10 hours and then it's going to turn off. And it will come back on in, you know, from 24 hours from when you turned it on. So what I do is, if I planted this entire thing, the entire greenhouse, in seeds and filled it the entire way, I would put it right center on the Grow Light. Now what's going to happen throughout the time that it's under this Grow Light is it starts to produce moisture like a greenhouse will, and the entire top will be filled with little droplets of moisture, almost like it starts raining on the inside of this. But because I didn't fill the whole thing, I'm just going to slide this down, and I am going to literally put the Grow Light on the very center area of where it is. And this Grow Light sun is really fantastic for the seeds. Again, the Growtek turns off, so you do want about 10 hours of sunlight a day, which is what this is, on your seedlings. Now, I also found these Grow Lights on Amazon. I can't endorse them one way or the other. They've got USB connections. You can put them into a USB, and you can, you know, with the wire casing, you could probably put 2 of these over this like that, and maybe that would be great. I don't know. I haven't been given a year ago my own Grow Light, fantastic Grow Light, like the best Grow Light a girl could ever want. I just couldn't experiment with those others, so and nor would I want to, right? Because when someone gives you the best Grow Light in history, you got to stick with it. So that's it. That's all there is. At the end of the day, I've just planted probably enough seeds, which is 10 and let's see, what do I got? 8. So I've planted 18 seeds, and can I tell you, this will be more than enough to plant in Nanny Bubby's garden. With everything else that I have in there, these will literally take over. My granddaughter and I planted 8 pumpkin seeds in late June. And those pumpkins absolutely took over the entire right side of my garden. It was so much, and I couldn't control it, and I didn't cut it back in time. And at the end of the day, I literally, then 115 degrees came, and I had to take them all out because they died, and the leaves it was just a disaster. So this year, and then I put pumpkins in that area, and she thought she was picking a pumpkin. So she was okay with it. She thought she planted them and she got to pick her own pumpkin. It was okay, right? Because she still got the thrill of it. But this year we're going to plant 2 pumpkin seeds, put them in the garden, and I'm going to be able to control that. And 2 pumpkin seeds, believe it or not, will probably give us maybe 8 to 10 or more pumpkins. And so not knowing how to do things, you have to experience it. You have to fail forward. You have to do things and learn. Here's another thing I learned, which should have been really obvious. These are radishes. Okay, so radishes were great. They started to sprout really quickly. I loved working with them. They had beautiful leaves. The leaves were red. Hey, Bessie, so good to see you. Thanks for filling out the quiz for me, not the quiz, but the survey for me. I really appreciate it. But here's what I learned about radishes. Same with any root vegetable. They sprout leaves, and when they're ready to be picked, you pick it out. Meaning you pick what you eat, where lettuces and zucchini plants and everything else, once you cut them back on the outside, or once they give you a fruit and you cut the fruit off, the plant keeps growing and giving you more and more. But root vegetables like radishes and carrots, they give you 1 fruit, 1 vegetable. Once you pick it, it's done. So you have to, I mean, I really have the greatest respect for farmers that are producing root vegetables, because they have to keep turning that soil and keep planting, because once you pick it, it's done. Whereas with lettuce or with zucchini or squash or herbs or vegetables or tomatoes, it just keeps giving fruit and fruit and fruit and fruit. So that's it for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I have to tell you, if you think that you'd like to see more, because this is just the seeds starting, there's transplanting. And by the way, I really want to encourage you, even if you live in an apartment with a small balcony or just a small walkway outside your balcony, you can have a victory garden. You can put them in pots and you can grow so many things from your pots. You do not have to build. I mean, when I first started, I had 12 pots outside growing beautiful vegetables. It was so exciting. Well, thank you, Susan, so much. Mashi Swartz is here. Tosher, and let's see, Tani asked, have you tried planting potatoes? No, I want to try that this year. Try it. Try it and tell us what happened. Show us the pictures of your plants. Show us what you're growing. Absolutely. The root vegetables that I did were, gosh, I think only radishes last year. And I picked them. Now, what I did is I left them in the ground too long. And that's the other thing with root vegetables, is you need to know when to pull them. Because I left the radishes in the ground, underground too long. And when I picked them, they were over ripened and over mushy. So there's a sweet spot there. And I guess I'm going to really learn that, because I pulled out these radishes so that I could actually plant them today, because I was very excited about that. And let's look at what size these seeds are. Let me just show you here. Let me open it. These are a little bit bigger. So look at this. So those, can you see that? These are a little bit bigger, like they're twice the size of what the arugula is. So they almost look like little bird seeds. Much easier to plant, and I think I'm gonna do that. So that's it so much. Thank you, and have a great week as well. See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. for It's Time for Dinner with Nanny Bubby. And I love doing this for you. What I was gonna say is that if you'd like to see more and you think you'd like to join a course and really go through maybe a 3-week course or a 4-week course with the seed planting, answering questions, talking things through, then just leave in your here now, just, I don't know, direct message me or leave a message in this Facebook group where you see the stream where we did the live, and let me know, because I think I'm gonna grab Brenda and we're gonna all do this seed starting class. And I just threw a radish seed in with the arugula, and that's a problem. All right, everybody, let's say it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go out and spread love like butter. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I had more fun than you did, and good luck. Good luck with it all. Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.